Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Stack. I'm Arianna, communication lead at Aurora Labs, and I'll be hosting this new episode of our new series where we give the spotlight to the partners that are making the Aurora Cloud Marketplace a great platform where builders can find the pre-integrated tools to make their virtual chains from just being regular chains launching to full-fledged products, and they can do it easily, fast, and free. And today's spotlight is on Hashlock, a leading security firm delivering smart contract auditing and also other security services, including threat detection. And joining us is Andres Altuve, Strategic Partnership and BD Manager. And we're excited to dive into Hashlock, what they do, and what makes them good at what they're building and what they're offering to virtual chain builders in Aurora Cloud Marketplace. So, welcome, Andres.
Hello. Thanks for having me, Ariana, and thanks for everyone in the space.
Yes, great. So a good way to start it off would be for you to introduce yourself and to give us a brief overview of Hashlock.
Yeah, 100%. So a briefing on myself. I'm originally born and raised in Venezuela. So I lived what is inflation and devaluation in real life from a young when I was a little, and of course that took me to flew my country, right? Fast forward to today, a couple of years ago, I found blockchain technology, and of course, I started, investing in it, trading, and then using decentralized platforms to trade, basically. And I saw an opportunity to give more to the industry, and of course to learn. So I started my journey in Web3 as a recruiter, as a Web3 recruiter, helping protocols, DAOs, DeFi protocols, and NFT marketplaces, whatever teams were building. I was helping them to find talent in the space. But I quickly realized that talent is a huge problem, but security is an even bigger problem. So I switched from Web3 recruitment to Web3 cybersecurity, and now I'm one of the leaders at the team, and I do strategic partnerships with other platforms, with other protocols, and with other service providers, and I do BD. And what we do basically at Hashlock is we do line by line code review of smart contracts. So we audit smart contracts. We also do penetration testing on front end, back end, and we also do cloud security. We offer bug bounties, and we just released our on-chain monitoring tool. So we pretty much cover and offer the full security spectrum to our clients.
Thank you, Andres. That's really nice introduction. Yeah, I would like to ask, before we go a bit deeper into the offerings of Hashlock and how they stand out as opposed to other security firms, is perhaps the context of security. So I would ask you about the Web3 space. What are the most common challenges for builders specifically when it comes to security, and what are often the overlooked aspects of creating a product or a chain that is safe for the users?
Yeah. I would say that currently, I mean, the ecosystem has been evolving very quickly, and more in terms of security. Before, for example, smart contract audits weren't something that you would need, right? It was kind of like a nice to have, but it wasn't a requirement. Right now, it is a requirement for you to have an audit to list your token in any exchange. It is a requirement to have your contract audited if you want, if you are fundraising. So it is a requirement. So I've seen this. This the whole ecosystem evolving with time, but still there's a lot of projects that are um, just focusing on audits, right? And yes, audits is one of the key solutions, but they have to go beyond audits. So usually audits are used as a checkbox, but making a protocol more secure needs doing more than just an audit. So I always recommend our clients to go beyond security audits. So after they finished an audit and they go live on the mainnet, they should be also they will also be adding a bug bounty program, for example, which is an open source competition to find bugs and vulnerabilities in the smart contracts, and use on-chain monitoring tools to make the whole protocol and the whole product more secure. So I think the whole ecosystem is over relying in smart contract audits, but they should be going beyond that.
And I guess you already outlined a little bit what's the main uh, reasoning and ethos of Ashlock, but what do you think makes Ashlock's specific approach different from other security companies?
Yeah, I would say talent is our main strength. We hire the best of the best. So I would say having senior security researchers reading your code, um, having Hashlock's senior security researcher reading your code is one of the big differentiators we have. Um, we do also line by line code review. So we also understand that there's no tool, there's no AI that beats a senior security researcher actually doing line by line code review. So we are still doing that. Um, we offer transparency to our clients. We found in the security space that sometimes you are engaging with a security company that doesn't tell you or doesn't give you direct communication access to the security auditor that is actually reading your code. So you don't know if it's a junior security researcher, a mid-level security researcher, or a senior security researcher. And of course, that has big impact in terms of quality and in terms of pricing as well. So we offer clear communication with our security researchers. That's one of our key differentiators as well. Another one is that we understand that audits are great for marketing. It's a great tool for marketing and for growth. And again, it is a requirement right now, but it also can be used for marketing purposes, because no user is investing or using any smart contract that hasn't been audited. So users, liquidity providers, and institutions are just looking for projects that have been audited already. So it's great for growth and for user acquisition. And one last thing that we started doing not long ago is that we are opening our network to all our clients. So let's say one of our clients is also fundraising or is looking to partner with a launchpad or an exchange. We are opening our network and we're giving access and making intros between our clients and our partners so they can also grow their network and leverage our contacts in the space.
That's really great and very beneficial for people that are just starting in the space, as I imagine new founders, new people launching virtual chains would be new. And that's really nice that you can get access to a network that is already live.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Especially when everyone in the space is kind of like just focusing on a transaction, right? So just you give me this and I give you this, right? Of course, we tend to make business through a transaction, but we want to give more value. And by the way, these introductions and this leveraging of our networks to our clients is for free, right? So usually our clients are in an early stage. Some of them are just releasing their smart contracts, or first time they're releasing a token, for example, and them having an intro or direct access to a VC, for example, that is actually deploying capital in the space right now. It's great, right? So we want to give more value to our clients and partners.
Nice. And I also learned that you recently launched an on-chain risk monitoring tool just a couple of weeks ago. So maybe you want to say a few words about that. Um, it's an added feature that you have right now. So
Yeah, yeah. Going back to security audits being kind of like the main solution in the space, we want to offer more solutions for our clients, and basically the whole ecosystem to be more secure. So we just launched our on-chain monitoring tool, and what it basically does is the system first scans the smart contracts, to understand its purpose and the logic behind the contract. Um, so the system then recommends relevant security monitors, and it can give you different examples. So, for example, a contract proxy upgrade, admin functions. So it will give you recommendations on which monitors to use based on the logic of the contract or the type of contract that it will be monitoring. It then based on those requirements, it will send alerts via Telegram, so you can actually integrate the tool to your Telegram, to Slack, email, or and Discord, and it will also allow you to build webhooks. So you can build a webhook that says, for example, that if you have a list of wallets that are red flagged for whatever reason, you can create a webhook that allows you to basically block those wallets to interact with your protocol. Okay, and then you can also you can use pre-built monitors, but then you can also customize those monitors based on your requirements and based on your needs. Okay, so you can actually go deeper and deeper in terms of customizations of the monitors that you want to use.
awesome. So it seems like a good place here to ask one of the crucial questions of the stream, which is Hashlock in relation to the Aurora Cloud Marketplace. So if I'm a builder, I'm launching a virtual chain, and I'm using Aurora Cloud Marketplace for that, what would it look for me to use Ashblock services?
Yeah, so if you are partner of Aurora, you can get, or if you're part of the marketplace or the incubation program, we we built and designed a discount for all of your partners. Okay, so if you come from the marketplace, okay, you would get a discount of 10% on audit services, okay, plus a free trial on our on-chain monitoring tool. Again, if you come from the marketplace, you would get a 10% discount on audits, and then a free trial on our on-chain monitoring tool. And then anyone coming from your incubation program would get a ticket discount of $5,000. Okay, so if you're looking to audit any type of smart contracts, we're going to send you a quote, and then it's gonna be you're gonna have a $5,000 discount on that proposal, on that specific audit. Plus, you would also get a free trial on our on-chain monitoring tool. Okay, so both users of your marketplace and partners for using your marketplace, but also coming from your incubation program, will leverage this partnership between Aurora Labs and Hashlock.
Nice. That's a pretty good deal. Security is expensive indeed, and it's also fundamental. So it's always nice to have the ability to have some discounts available. And now, if someone wants an audit or other services, they contact you, and then what are the steps that are going through, or how do you understand which services will be more beneficial to the project?
Yeah, so usually the first step is to get an audit, right? You can also do a competition, right? An audit competition, but the more standard way to do it, so the industry standard is to do a private audit. Okay, so if someone is coming from Aurora Labs or Aurora Cloud, and they want an audit, the first thing to do is to contact us. Um, you have my contacts, and actually we have a group chat with all our team members. So the first thing to understand is the scope, right? To understand uh, the requirements. So let's use a basic example. Let's um, a token contract, let's say a token audit, a token contract audit. We'll have to check the code. We'll have to have access to the repo, okay, to the GitHub repo. I will need to check the code to understand the logic behind the contract, and based on the complexity, the risk, the timelines of the scope of the contract, I will send you a quote, and you will of course find there timelines, methodology, and pricing. Okay, then we will start the audit. But basically, what we need to understand first is the scope of the audit. Okay, and the best way to do that is having access to the GitHub repo where the code is based.
Okay, that's clear. Then maybe we can take some questions from the audience here. There are a few. Let's see. Non-life taker asks, my question to Andres, what advice would you give to a Web3 team to proactively prepare smart contracts for your audit locked certification?
What advice would you give a Web13 to proactively prepare smart contract for your audit log certification? The first thing I always say to researchers, new researchers in the space, is to actively engage with bug bounty programs. Right, it's the best way to learn is by doing. Right, so go to the different bug bounty programs out there and start creating your profile. Okay, because again, these are open source bug bounty programs. You can go to Hashlock. We have the different bug bounty programs, live bug bounty programs there. You can go to the other ones in the space and start building your experience, right? And then, of course, that experience will allow you to answer the questions in our certification program more accurately with experience. So the best tip I can give you is learn by doing.
Then we have another question by OK Galileo. In your audits, how do you integrate automated tool with manual code reviews to ensure both scale and depth of security coverage? You mentioned that already, but you can surely reiterate because that's important.
Yeah. So 90% of our work is line by line code review. So this is manual audits. Okay, there's nothing better than that right now. Of course, we use and our team use some automated tools, some static tools and dynamic tools to get low hanging fruits. Okay, this is to get low bugs and low vulnerabilities. But right now, at least in Web3, because it's such a new paradigm and new technology, the blockchain technology. There's no better solution than having a security auditor actually reading your code. I'm not saying that in the future, maybe in the near future, we'll have better tools, AI integrations that will enable us and actually internal security teams to audit their own contracts. But right now, that's not the case, and we haven't seen anything better than a senior security researcher doing line by line code review.
Then, how do you vet protocols before agreeing to audit or support them?
There's no vetting process on our end. Actually, projects vet security auditors to audit their code. Okay, so um, we don't vet any project, and we are chain agnostic. So basically, we can pretty much audit any type of project in any ecosystem. Okay, so the way we work is that we have a team of security researchers specialized in a specific stack, technical stack in a specific ecosystem. Okay, so we can audit Solidity code, we can audit Rust, Solana code, Polkadot based products, Bitcoin, Cardano. So whatever the protocol is based upon, we can audit. But we don't vet anyone, because of course we want to help secure more and more protocols and more smart contracts.
And last question that we'll take before wrapping up the stream is from Alpha. What are the most ambitious goals of your project, and is there any means for the community to keep updated on the project?
So one of the ambition goals is basically growth. We're seeing these hacks happening, still happening, and we just want to grow, to onboard more clients, to help more projects, and by doing that, we're actually helping everyone involved in the ecosystem, because there's nothing worse than being hacked in Web3, because it's actually affect you directly, right? So the more projects we help, the more users we'll have, and the better, and the better the ecosystem will be, right? The healthier the ecosystem will be. So our ambitious goals for this year is to, of course, interact and partner with new and more blockchains out there, interact and onboard new protocols, new builders. So basically, they are more secure and safe to go on mainnet.
Nice. Thanks for taking the question. So I think for just wrapping up the space, what would you say to people building right now, just as the last words from Hashlock?
Yeah. So yeah, prioritize security. I think that's key right now. If you don't prioritize security and you want to cut corners, you will find out that at the end of it, you will lose your community, you will lose your product, and you will lose your reputation. So it's not just about securing your protocol; it's also about your reputation, and the reputation of the team building your product. So you have to prioritize security. You have to prioritize good practices, and that's it. That's always my take. Security is should be the main priority.
Yes, the main message, don't be stingy with security. You'll regret it for sure.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, Andres, thank you very much for joining us on Behind the Stack. I hope that this was useful for people that are interested in exploring the Aurora Cloud Marketplace and to link a face to the different projects, tools, and services, and better understand what we offer. So thanks again for being here and taking your time for that. And
thank you, Ariana, and everyone in on your community and connected to this live session. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thanks everyone for tuning in, and see you in the ecosystem. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.